Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Phil Carlson, and on behalf of KCSA Strategic Communications, as well as our co-host OTC Markets Group, we're very pleased you have joined us for our next live presentation from Nextleaf Solutions, a federally regulated manufacturer and distributor of cannabis extracts. Please note you can submit questions in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for one-on-one meetings through the Schedule Meetings tab found on the conference platform. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Paul Peterson, co-founder and CEO of Nextleaf Solutions, which trades on the OTCQB under the symbol OILFF and on the CSE under the symbol OILS. Welcome back, Paul.
Hey, thank you very much, Phil, and thank you to all our existing investors and new investors and analysts that are joining the call. We think that this is an extremely exciting time in the history of our company. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nextleaf. As Phil mentioned, we trade as OILS on the CSE and OILFF on the OTCQB in the US. You see our contact details there. Any questions that you have after the presentation, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I'm just going to leave this cautionary statement on here for a moment before we get started. Nextleaf is a federally regulated manufacturer and distributor of cannabis extracts. And I think what makes our company very unique is we have a less than $10 million Canadian market cap. We are secure debt free. Most importantly, we just generated our second consecutive quarter of positive cash flow from operations. So we think that puts us in a very unique aspect of the industry. But more importantly, we think that Nextleaf offers investors a very interesting take on the legalization of cannabis. Our business is really built around three core fundamentals: intellectual property, our wholesale ingredient business, and branded products. Nextleaf has been issued over 100 patents globally, 19 issued US patents around the extraction and purification of cannabinoids. We think our intellectual property portfolio represents tremendous blue sky for investors. We think we have well over $1 billion worth of IP in our company. And what we're doing now is we're validating it and commercializing it through our wholesale ingredient business. And that's our low cost production and supply of THC and CBD oils, standardized for potency and purity, which we supply to some of the largest companies in the world and across Canada. We also have two brands in market, Glacial Gold, which is our award-winning legacy market brand, and High Plains, which is our new THC brand. I'll get into those in a moment. Very proud of the fact that we have the #1 selling brand of CBD-focused vapes in British Columbia. We think that we've introduced a number of products, and we're very excited now to take our brand from coast to coast. The market opportunity that we see in cannabis is kind of four parts to it. The first and most importantly, Nextleaf is really a recycling facility, a cannabis recycling technology that we've built the brands onto, right? And the opportunity that we're taking advantage of is really this idea of upcycling garbage into gold. We process cannabis and hemp biomass that's 1 to 2 years old, transform this unsold flower into high value distillates and cannabinoid ingredients on an industrial scale, driven by our 10 US patents, allowing us to produce ingredients the most efficient way possible within a federally regulated market. Our focus, of course, is vapes and oils, and it's building brands on innovative IP. I'll get into a moment on why those product segments are really our focus. And of course, winning market share from Goliath. And this is really, I think, an exciting part of our business. By controlling the price and quality of THC and CBD ingredients and delighting consumers with our brand, Nextleaf in 2022 was able to outsell Canopy Growth, Organigram, Aurora Cannabis, SNDL. These are some very, very large companies that have raised tremendous amount of capital from big alcohol, big tobacco. We beat these guys head to head in all our key categories: vapes and oils and soft gels in BC. Patents arms race. We really see this massive kind of once in a generational opportunity to secure US patents on the production of standardized cannabinoid ingredients really before the US legalization comes around. And I'll get into that in a moment, why I think that's important. But really, these are the opportunities in the market that we see that Nextleaf is going after commercially. This is a great slide here. Very simply, it shows what our competitive advantage is as a company. It's all about true scalability, as we call it. Our automated closed-loop extraction plant with chilled alcohol and inline winterization, filtration, remediation, and post-extraction processing. It's all inline. It's all done by two people. You drop a tea bag of biomass in one side, you get filtered oil that comes out the other. Number of patents around our system. You'll see the competitors on the right-hand side. They need 10 times the people, 10 times the floor space. So for us, we're operating a very automated production plant, very small footprint, allows us to have the lowest cost of production in the country. Nextleaf Labs is our Health Canada licensed manufacturing, extraction, and distribution facility. We have all the licenses, include sensory trials, where we test all our products in real world conditions before releasing them to the market. It's allowed us to build some really robust product development pipeline. But I think most importantly, Nextleaf Labs is our licensed entity. It's about 20 minutes outside of downtown Vancouver. It's where all our technology and automation is. It's where we process up to 1,000 kilos per month of high purity CBD and THC distillate ingredients. We also do vape manufacturing, finished goods packaging, and then of course distribution to the government distributors and our medical sales partners. It's a 4,000 square foot facility. Again, allows us to have a tremendous low overhead. And our business is all really built around automation, technology, and recycling garbage into gold. And again, our wholesale business is all built on commercializing our technology. We've recently emptied our vault with all our more expensive ingredients, and now we're moving to a system of buying tons of THC biomass from farmers for a penny, 2 pennies a gram. We're turning this into beautiful ingredients. CBD and THC, which we supply to some of the largest producers in the world, guys that have all the capital in the world. They could buy whatever equipment they want. They could buy whatever company they want. Instead of being vertically integrated, they send their extraction to Nextleaf. We've been able to win tremendous amount of business as this trend continues in Canada, where you see some of the largest producers shutting down their facilities and actually outsourcing. One of our brands that we support and power is Crooked Dory. Vapes and oils, their number one seller in the province of Newfoundland. Very proud to have them as our partner. We've recently supplied vapes to an international medical market, and we have been selling our branded vapes in pharmacies outside of Canada where cannabis is legal for medicinal uses, and we really see continued opportunity to really grow our wholesale business, supplying bulk CBD and THC ingredients that we, again, produce from this waste material. We continue to drive business in Canada as well as internationally, and are very, very excited to drive more of that international revenue. Our CPG brands, which we've launched really in the last year and a half. Glacial Gold was a legacy brand, started in 2015. It was award-winning Cannabis Cup, Karma Cup. Large following across the country. It was nationally distributed back in the legacy days. We've repositioned it in large formats at accessible price points: oils, soft gels, CBD vapes, and balanced THC vapes. And High Plains is our new high THC Street Fighter brand we've recently launched. It's obviously our Health Canada compliant Rebel Cowboy there with high flavor profiles. And really the idea is we want to have our High Plains brand competing with as the number one value vape. Currently, it's the best priced vape in British Columbia. We've recently launched our new live rosin blend under a High Plains brand here in Ontario, and obviously very excited for the opportunity to build both these brands. Our Glacier Gold, our legendary, got a premium Prohibition era brand, and then again High Plains, our high THC brand. So these are some pictures of our products of both Glacial Gold and High Plains. You'll see that we have Canada's first and only 1,000 milligram edible THC offering, and again, very unique. Until we came along, there was nobody putting more than 30 soft gels and 300 milligrams of THC into a bottle. We've launched 50 count and 100 counts coming. We currently have the #1 selling soft gel in British Columbia. We've been able to outsell Tilray, Aurora, all these big boys that have invested tremendous amount of capital. We've been able to do it because, again, controlling the price and quality of the ingredients that go into all these products. That's what all these products have in common. We don't do flower. We don't do any cultivation. We are focused narrowly on product categories. We have a competitive advantage of price and quality. How have we done? This is a quick little overview here. We're currently distributed in BC, Ontario, Saskatchewan, and Nova Scotia. And very excited to announce here on this presentation today that Nextleaf has recently, as of last week, been approved by the AGLC now to launch into the province of Alberta. That was a government approval process that took about a year and a half. So very excited now. We're overdue to launch into Alberta. We expect to double our sales with the addition of the Alberta retailers. And we are also excited to announce that that we've launched in Manitoba through a partner there, and again are very excited to continue growing sales in British Columbia. We have the #1 selling brand of CBD vape in British Columbia. We're top 5 selling brand of CBD oil, and we're a top 10 selling brand of 1 gram vapes in British Columbia. So, that those are all done without pay to play. We've never ever paid a store for shelf space. And unlike the other guys that went before this presentation, they're continuing to burn cash because they're driving sales with buying shelf space. Nextleaf has taken an everyday low price model, delighting consumers with low price, high purity ingredients, high quality C-cell hardware. We've been able to outsell all the big tobacco guys in the vape space, in the oil space. Soft gels is a category that we're leaning heavy into. As I mentioned, #1 selling soft gel. We're available across the country for medical patients through a Quebec-based medical platform. And very proud to say we currently have the best price CBD in the country at a price per milligram. And we have the best THC soft gel price in the country, price per milligram. Again, those are really driven by our patented technology. And, for us as a business, we're going to continue to lean into our global leading IP portfolio, this is a nice map here, nice segue. Currently 19 issued US patents, 8 patents here in Canada, over 37 in Europe. We've got patents in Mexico, Australia, Israel, New Zealand, Africa, essentially everywhere where we believe cannabis will be legal over the next 20 years, life of these patents, we've protected our intellectual property. And what I always say is, scientists, PhDs, competitors, anyone that wants to come down and see our facility, look under the hood, what you'll see is a very impressive automated facility that allows us to compete head to head with the biggest producers, not just in Canada, but globally. Allows us to protect our intellectual property. There's a patent arms race right now. If you look at 7 of the top 10 patent holders in Canada around cannabis related patents are actually multinational pharmaceutical companies, Merck, GW, Nextleaf. We're in that category as well. We did it a lot more efficiently. More importantly, we see our patents as a shield, not as a sword. And we believe that we have the most efficient method for producing high purity THC and CBD ingredients within federally regulated markets. All our PhDs that have been involved with our company over the last 5 years, they're shareholders. They'd tell you the same thing if they were standing right here. And what we like to say are our differentiator is premium vodka versus moonshine. And it's really that, again, being able to transform garbage into gold. And that's really the key to our business, is that we're not working with high quality premium ingredients. We're literally transforming product that people are throwing into the garbage. Our specialty molecules division is where we do a lot of our cutting edge innovation. It's really, the strategy is all about leveraging our existing IP and delivery technology. We're not out there blowing a bunch of money on R&D. We're focused on growing revenue. We're focused on continuing to build on consecutive quarters, generating positive cash flow. But we think that this is how we unlock and create tremendous amount of shareholder value. Recently, unveiled our first commercial product out of this division. It was our CBN. It's a cannabinoid that very few people have experience with, has sedating effects. We were able to produce it through an all-natural process from old THC. Very excited to get into more of the sleep-based products, cannabinoid-based products. We're excited for the addressable market when you think about sleeping pills and all the folks that those kill across the country here. We've also got our patented excise-free molecule THCO. Very excited about that. We won't get into that too much today, but again, number of patents around this. Most importantly, unlike Delta-9 THC, which is subject to considerable excise tax, our top-selling Delta-9 product in Ontario had over 50% excise tax on that last year. Our THCO molecule is patented. It's not subject to excise tax, and we're very excited to really shake up the industry and shake up the folks in Ottawa with that. Of course, our specialty molecules division is also where we do our cutting-edge work on psychedelics, psilocybin, MDMA. We're going to have some very exciting announcements to come over the months ahead here throughout the summer and fall on that division. And of course, we continue to explore strategic R&D and innovation partnerships with multinational companies looking for a federally regulated partner to develop and commercialize IP in a legal market. We have an MOU signed. We're working with one of the largest natural products and pharmaceutical companies in Korea right now, investigating the opportunity to take Nextleaf's technology global and more specifically export product into Asia. So very excited for some of these partnerships. Again, I'd be remiss if I didn't spend a few minutes to talk about our management team. Paul Peterson, co-founder, CEO, Charles Ackerman, our founding CFO, I've worked with for almost 10 years now. Dr. Sherry Boudram is our rock star board member. She's been with us since 2019, since the whole CanTrust fiasco. When I met Sherry about 10 years ago, she was working as an inspector for Health Canada in the medical cannabis division. She has now left the government. She's the CEO of CanDelta. She is the top regulatory consultant, not just in Canada, but we believe in North America, doing a lot of work in New York State these days. Very excited to have Sherry on our board. We think that most importantly, Sherry could be on any cannabis publicly traded board. She's on ours, but we think she de-risks the whole company based on her thorough understanding of the regulatory environment and also the opportunity to continue to push the boundaries and continue to drive business. Our key personnel, Ryan Coe, our co-founder and vice president, over 15 years of industry experience, the number one distillation guy in North America, Tom Ulanowski, president of C45, our quality association, one of the co-founders of Nextleaf Labs. Chris Andrews runs our commercial strategy. It was part of the early team at Vega that sold for $550 million to White Wave in 2015, and our QAP Vipin. We got him after Canopy acquired Supreme for over $300 million. We're happy to have him on our team. And Dr. Krupal Paul, a PhD chemical engineer, and has been with us for over 5 years and instrumental in developing our patented extraction process. We've got a few minutes that I want to leave for questions. And, I think last time we got cut off, we didn't get to all the questions. I know it's a very exciting time. I'm going to finish on this slide here. I'm going to leave, after this slide, I'm going to leave my email up and I will open it up to any questions. If you guys have questions, please submit them. One of my colleagues here will try to bump the best questions. But to kind of summarize our company, again, sort of coming back to our three pillars, right? First and foremost, the intellectual property. We really believe that the value of our patent portfolio is driven by U.S. legalization. Of course, our 19 issued patents, which we believe protects the most efficient methods to turn THC and hemp biomass into high purity THC and CBD ingredients. Our IP licensing enables speed to market advantage in new emerging jurisdictions as countries like Germany, Australia, and Israel come online. In Canada, in the most highly regulated market in the world for cannabis, Nextleaf is a top manufacturer of vape and oils. Our Glacial Gold brand was one of British Columbia's best-selling brands of cannabis vapes and oils in 2022. We outsold Sundial, we outsold Canopy, Aurora, Organigram, some very large players. Laid them all to waste, bringing more value to consumers, better price point driven by our IP, and really looking ahead over the next 6 months, growth from our expanding distribution and additional SKUs of Glacial Gold and High Plains, as I mentioned, been approved for the Alberta market. We've recently launched into Manitoba, and we are about to double our SKUs in Ontario and expect to drastically drive our Ontario business, which is the biggest legal cannabis market in the world. And then, I think what makes us unique is, proud to say I'm the only CEO of this event today that can say their company is generating positive cash flow from operations and is secure debt free, right? So I think we like to say we control our own destiny. We have an under $10 million market cap, founder-led business. We got a tremendous team out in our facility out in Vancouver. We're swinging for the fences. We think we've got the most valuable IP portfolio. We think we've got the lowest cost of production in the country. We believe that the biggest cannabis companies globally cannot compete with us at retail, at price and quality, and we've demonstrated that by outselling them all last year. We hope that folks that have listened to this presentation will continue to be engaged. You can reach us at info@nextleafsolutions.com. Again, Paul Peterson, the co-founder and CEO, oils on the CSE, OILFF on the OTCQB. Again, under $10 million market cap. We think that we've got tremendous upside in our business, and more importantly, what we have to look ahead to the next 6 months. So over the last 6 months, we've generated about $4 million top line revenue. More importantly, I think than that, it's allowed us to generate positive cash flow. We're a business, we don't have to do 100 million in top line. We don't have to do 50 million in top line. We're a business that is built to generate positive cash flow, and more importantly, weather the storm that we're in right now with a lack of available capital, businesses failing left and right. Again, recycling operation, we have built a production and IP related platform to process all this unsold biomass that all these guys have grown over the last 5 years. All the company CEOs have talked a lot about funded capacity. The problem is what no one wants to talk about. They have overcapacity. They have way too much production. We have zero cultivation. We think that's a big advantage to us. And more importantly, we got that low cost advantage that we're going to continue to lean into. We're very excited. What we've done here in Canada, we've come head to head. We've battled it out with the biggest companies in the world, and we've won. We've won in our markets, and we've won in our key categories. And we see nothing to stop us from taking this to the US, taking this to other countries, and doing the exact same thing. So for that, I'm going to open it up to questions. We expect, I was just going to give a quick outlook actually before I do. Over the next 6 months, we expect to hit probably double our revenue. We're expecting for the year to finish north of 10 million top line revenue. Again, more importantly, positive cash flow, debt free, and continuing to put pressure on these big guys that are hemorrhaging cash, that can't come down and play where we're playing in this value segment, that consumers are rewarding us, buying our products, and most importantly, we're continuing to grow our brands, grow our distribution. Our wholesale business continues to grow month in and month out, and I think we are built to deliver incredible value to our shareholders. And as the co-founder of this company, I appreciate the support. With that, would love to open it up to any questions. First question, how significant and likely is CBD liberalization in the US and Canada? So, CBD is really interesting in the US. It's been federally legal, but not regulated for over 5 years now. I think it's damaged the CBD industry. We have no interest in participating in any market that isn't federally regulated. In the Canadian market, the Canadian CBD market that is federally regulated, we have to sell CBD like we sell THC. But what we've been able to do, we've been able to outsell Canopy, Aurora. These are companies that went and bought CBD companies, hemp companies, in order to dominate the CBD space. We have outsold all those guys. We've been one of the top distributors of CBD products in British Columbia and across the country. And we see Canada allowing greater distribution of non-psychoactive, non-THC CBD-based products in the coming years. And we think that's going to be a major catalyst for our business. Cash flow projections. Very excited for the Q3 ending June. We're expecting again to have this as our third consecutive quarter generating positive cash flows. That's something that all the big boys can't say. And again, more importantly, that convertible debenture that was really hard on our stock. Again, we paid back 2 million of that 3 million that we borrowed a couple of years ago. That last million got converted into stock. It was really hard on our stock. It's out of the way now. We're debt free. We're swinging for the fences, and we're very excited. Why are we still small and seemingly no large companies are interested in our technology? I mean, look, there's been lots of companies interested in our technologies. We have met with the largest tobacco companies globally. As I mentioned earlier, we have an open door policy. We always say, bring your smartest people in. We'll show you exactly what we're doing. We'll show you our technology. We get a number of patents around it. And, most importantly, for us, we'll always evaluate what's in the best interest of the shareholders. We've had a number of opportunities to sell the business now for over 5 years. We had our first opportunity approached by one of the largest players in 2018. It hasn't made sense for the shareholders. We're not in this to do an exit. We never built this business to sell it. We built this business to build a multi-billion-dollar company, and more importantly, battle out with the biggest players in the world and validate our IP in a federally regulated environment. And we think by doing that is how we unlock incredible shareholder value. Biggest milestones in the next 12 months for Glacial Gold and High Plains. I mean, obviously, BC, we want to continue to hold our spot for Glacial Gold as the number one selling CBD vape. We want to be number one in soft gels. We got some incredible soft gel SKUs to launch, not just in BC, but also in Ontario, in Alberta, Manitoba. We're very excited for what is coming over the next 12 months. We expect to at least double our branded product revenue, and we expect to significantly increase our distribution. I just got back from Alberta, meeting with all the top retailers there. Folks have been waiting over a year and a half for the government to work through our paperwork. They can't wait. Our new High Plains brand, we know is going to be a big win in Alberta. Obviously, Glacial Gold, folks have been waiting to return since the legacy days, and we're very excited to battle out with the Canopies, the House of Brands, the Auroras, all these big boys. We want to take it to Sundial in their home province, and we want to outsell these guys, and we want to cause a lot of trouble for the big boys. Do you feel it will be necessary to take on more debt, and if so, how? We are evaluating debt. We will not be taking on any high interest debt. We don't have to. We're generating positive cash flows. We believe as a company, we're one of the most well-built cannabis companies in Canada that's federally regulated, and we believe that we should have access to a tier one lender, and we expect to announce a low-cost debenture perhaps in the next 6 months. But I think more importantly, it is going to be a convertible debenture, and it's going to be what you would expect a cannabis company to be able to land, that's market leading, that's federally legal, that has one of the most robust IP portfolios, and more importantly is generating positive cash flows and outselling some of the biggest companies in the world. What is the burn rate for the company? How is the company financed? We've raised over $20 million in equity from friends and family. I can call shareholders. I've got about 60% of the shareholders I can call right now. Some of them have been with us for 4 years, 5 years, even from before Nextleaf was a publicly traded company. The management team has participated. We're some of the largest shareholders in the company. Every employee of our company is a shareholder. If you come through our facility out in Vancouver, you'll see the 25 families that our business supports, and more importantly, you'll see folks hustling more than these big producers. And then just another question here about what is the expected schedule for U.S. legalization. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, we got a big problem here. We got Joe Biden. He's really old. We got a bunch of Republicans in the Senate that still think that cannabis is a serious drug. But, for us, we don't control any of that. What we do control is our business. We control our costs, we control our quality. More importantly, we're going to continue to delight consumers. We're going to continue to build a great value proposition for retailers, independent retailers that want to bring our products in. And we're going to continue to give the big boys a lot of trouble. We're going to continue to take their market share away, and we're going to make as much trouble as we can in a market here in Canada, validate our technology in a federally regulated market, and get ready for the U.S. Do we provide extraction for minor cannabinoids? We are in a B2B environment. We are focused on CBD and THC. We believe that we have the lowest cost production of both of those cannabinoid ingredients. We also produce CBN. We do not sell minor cannabinoids. We keep those ingredients for our own products and brands. Has Nextleaf taken any initial steps from entering into the U.S.? We have tremendous relationships with some U.S. brands. We recently launched the Canadian vape launch of cookies, which we powered. We have great relationships from across the United States. Our board member, Dr. Sherry Boudram, is the top regulatory consultant in the United States, we believe, and has great relationships from the state of New York to the state of California. And for us, when we think it's the right time, we intend to make some announcements and partnerships with some of the best operators that we think are strategically located in the right states and markets. Debt conversion. So we currently have about just under 160 million shares out in total, issued and outstanding. As I mentioned, the convertible debenture, it was about the last $1 million or around there, converted into stock. That's how we got to just under 160 million. That debenture's out of the way. The debenture holder has sold all their stock. The market soaked it up. We've brought in some great folks in. We've got some long-term investors that have soaked up that stock here, and we're just very excited. We're very excited for what's to come. We've got some massive announcements, but more importantly, talk is cheap, right? All these guys, all these CEOs that you heard today, these guys have raised hundreds of millions of dollars. They're continuing to burn cash. We're a very unique story. We're right-sized business for the Canadian market. We've got brands that have resonated. More importantly, we've got IP that allows us to compete with anybody. From 4 tons of flower, how many grams of oil will this produce? So that's a great question. It depends on a number of factors. The biggest is what's the potency of the biomass. Right now, we've got tons of THC biomass in a greenhouse that's being decommissioned, and is all 2-year-old product. We're turning this into high purity THC, 92% THC cannabinoids. We're selling that wholesale. We use the lower grade 80% stuff in our own branded products. What we do see is our cost of sales is some of the lowest in the industry, but more importantly, we are able to produce again, garbage into gold, taking this low quality product that has no value, producing the 90% THC, some of the 80% THC, and the amount of cannabinoids distillate that we get out really depends on the parameters that we run at. So the higher the potency of the distillate that we want at the end, the lower the yield. So for us, we're always balancing to maximize our efficiencies and our utilization, and more importantly, delight our consumers. We got a lot of questions here. Let me just see. Expansion in the near future. That's a great question. Every single week I get an investment banker that calls me and tries to sell me a business. 2 years ago, I had guys trying to sell us Radiant Technologies and trying to merge the companies and raise us $10 million. And what we say to all these guys is no. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 3. For us, we're focused on driving positive cash flows. We're focused on continuing to develop and commercialize the top IP portfolio in the industry. And I think more importantly, we're never going to expand or get over our skis too fast. And I think we saw that with our number one competitor, Valens. They got too big too fast. They ran out of money. They were acquired by Sundial, right? And we've seen that across the industry. And, again, when you have no secure debt hanging over your head, you're generating positive cash flow, and you got a team that's very, very dedicated to go outduel these big boys. Really, there's no pressure on us to expand. Every single day we look at bankrupt facilities. We're looking at opportunities to increase our production footprint and our capacity for pennies on the dollar, but certainly we have a great operation where we are. We have all the capacity that we need right now, and we're in no rush to do anything. Have you done any testing on your vape cards? That's a great question. We do extensive testing. We have a human trials sensory evaluation license from Health Canada. We do all sensory trials of products before they're released commercially. What I actually didn't mention in this presentation is that Nextleaf as a company had the lowest return rate of any vape supplier to the province of BC last year. And that's a big reason for that is obviously the quality hardware that we use in our vape cards. It's all C-cell hardware supplied by our friends at Jupiter. But more importantly, it's the ingredients, the quality of the ingredients. And our IP allows us to get more sugars, waxes, and chlorophylls out of the oil that our competitors have that cause waxes to build up and cause returns. We had the lowest return rate in the entire market. And that's per the BC LDB. And, we're excited to really take our high quality, value priced, aggressively priced offerings to Ontario. We're going to double our SKU count this summer. And obviously, Alberta is a huge market. We've been waiting over a year and a half. I know a lot of our shareholders, especially some of the good folks in Alberta, have been waiting a long time. And, very excited now that the government's worked through the paperwork. We're going to be launching in the summer there, and stay tuned for that. What trigger event would incite Nextleaf to enter the U.S. market? That would be federal regulation of CBD, which is CBD in the U.S. is not federally regulated. I think it's a terrible market to enter now, and or federal legalization of THC, right? And we think it's a huge disadvantage for anyone that operates in the U.S. until 280E is out of the way. 280E is a little known thing, and if you look at every single U.S. MSO, none of them are making any cash. None of them are generating any cash. They're not generating any cash because 280E doesn't allow them because they're an illegal business. And if you're a crack distributor or a cannabis distributor in the U.S., you treat it exactly the same. You can't deduct any of your expenses. So we would never participate in that kind of market. What we are doing in this market, Canada, the largest federally legal market in the world, we're battling the largest companies in the world. We're going head to head, but more importantly, we have the opportunity in a highly regulated market to validate all our IP and demonstrate that it isn't just some CEO saying we got $1 billion in IP. But again, what is our IP worth to one of these other big players that can go out, has a shield, and can produce THC and CBD ingredients the most efficient way possible, the lowest cost advantage in any legal market. So that's what makes our business unique. I appreciate everyone who has supported us as a shareholder. Connect with us on social media. You'll find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all the socials there. You'll find our company on there, Oils on the CSE, OILFF on the OTCQB. You can send me an email. Again, we aren't going anywhere. We're going to be here for a long time, and we're going to really enjoy what Canada has started, and that's the global legalization movement. We got some of the smartest people, not just in Canada, but globally. As part of our company, we got a tremendous team, and we're swinging for the fences. $10 million. We got a huge upside when you look at us versus our competitors. You look at their market caps. You look at where they're going to go over the next 6 months to a year versus where Oils is going to go over the next 6 months to a year. So thank you, everybody. Any other questions I didn't get to? My apologies. Please send me an email. Thank you so much.